Georges St-Pierre just made a shocking claim about the greatest fighter of all time. And it's not who you think. When asked to name his MMA Mount Rushmore during a fan Q&A at UFC 315 Fight Week, Georges St-Pierre offered a list filled with legendary names, but ultimately surprised many by naming Royce Gracie as his #1 pick. Initially, GSP listed fighters like Jon Jones, Demetrious Johnson, Anderson Silva, and Khabib Nurmagomedov, all of whom have made dominant runs in their respective divisions and are often debated as the greatest of all time. However, it was fellow Canadian MMA pioneer David Wasseau who reminded him of the foundational figure in MMA history, Royce Gracie. St-Pierre quickly agreed and elevated Gracie to the top of his list, stating, "Royce Gracie, for me, is my #1. This choice reflects more than just in-cage achievements. It shows GSP's deep respect for the roots of the sport. Gracie's performances in the early UFC tournaments, where he used Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to defeat much larger and less technically skilled opponents, were instrumental in introducing the world to ground fighting and submission grappling. GSP emphasized that without Gracie's influence, MMA, as we know it, might never have developed into a mainstream sport. By placing him above even modern greats, St-Pierre underscored the importance of legacy, innovation, and historical impact over pure win-loss records or title defenses. It's a reminder that greatness in MMA isn't just measured by dominance, but by the doors a fighter open for others. Before we dive deeper, hit that like button if you agree with GSP's pick. Who do you think should be on the MMA Mount Rushmore? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. While Jon Jones is often the first name mentioned in GOAT discussions due to his incredible resume, featuring multiple light heavyweight title defenses, a near-unblemished record, and dominance across 2 weight classes, Georges St-Pierre notably stopped short of placing Jones at the very top of his list. Though he acknowledged Jones alongside other elite names like Anderson Silva, Demetrious Johnson, and Khabib Nurmagomedov, GSP instead prioritized fighters who, in his view, shaped the sport's evolution rather than just dominated it. This omission is especially striking coming from St-Pierre, who has always been a student of the game and someone who appreciates both legacy and skill. It could be interpreted as a subtle statement that greatness isn't purely about physical dominance or titles. It's also about the context in which a fighter succeeded, the challenges they overcame, and the influence they had on MMA culture. While St-Pierre didn't criticize Jones, his decision to elevate Royce Gracie instead suggests that historical significance and contribution to the sport's foundation weigh heavier in his criteria for greatness than just raw athletic achievement. It's a respectful, yet pointed, deviation from the usual GOAT narrative that centers around fighters like Jones. Georges St-Pierre isn't just in Montreal for UFC 315 to reminisce about his legendary career. He's playing an active role in the event itself. One of his key duties during Fight Week is cornering his teammate, Ayman Zahabi, who is set to face off against the iconic Jose Aldo in a highly anticipated matchup. Zahabi, a member of St-Pierre's training camp and a skilled fighter in his own right, is benefiting from the guidance of one of the sport's greatest minds. St-Pierre's presence in Zahabi's corner further solidifies his position as a mentor and leader in the MMA community, even though he's no longer an active fighter. Beyond that, GSP has also expressed his excitement about potentially having the honor of wrapping the welterweight belt around the winner of the UFC 315 main event. Belal Muhammad is defending his title against Jack Della Maddalena, and St-Pierre has made it clear that if he's called upon to present the belt, it would be a moment of immense pride. This gesture speaks volumes about St-Pierre's ongoing connection to the UFC and his enduring legacy in the sport. He's still regarded as one of the most influential figures in MMA, not just for his past accomplishments, but for how he continues to shape the future of the sport, both inside and outside the octagon. Make sure to subscribe for more updates and expert analysis on the biggest MMA news, including everything you need to know about UFC 315.